Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order. Will everybody rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag
United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Will everybody rise for the pledge? Okay. Ralph, you want to do roll call?
Yes, Commissioner Domenick,
Here.
Commissioner Chermak,
Yes.
Mrs. Sacco,
Here.
Mrs. Gatto,
Here.
Mayor Chelik,
Here.
Mrs. Sheridan, and Mr. Tobin.
Here.
Okay. Opportunity for the board to, or for the public to address the board on agenda items only. Anything?
Nothing. Again, the public had until 9 o'clock today to submit anything, and I did not receive anything.
Okay. Presentation of minutes for approval from the meeting that we held on August 11th, 2021. I'm assuming everybody had an opportunity to review those. So I have a motion to approve those minutes.
Make a motion.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Presentation of vouchers for examination and approval from August 11th, 2021 through September 8th, 2021. There were only two expenditures there. Did everybody have an opportunity to review them?
Yep.
Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion to approve the expenditures?
I'll approve.
Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Discussion items, land bank general update.
Okay, to date, 165 properties have been sold or conveyed in Lackawanna County, and that's in all of the county, broken down by the different member municipalities. In the city of Scranton, 148 properties, with 3 additional properties to be acted upon in this meeting. In the city of Carbondale, 12 properties have been conveyed and 1 property pending. Covington Township, 4 properties have been sold, 6 properties are pending, and then we have another 6 properties on the agenda for today's meeting to be acted upon, and 1 property in Vanling as of this time. And that's the update for the member municipalities.
What about new interest in the land bank?
Since the last meeting, we haven't had any new interest. Commissioner Domenick, I did get some information to Jim, the new repository list for the municipalities that aren't members and the school district. So I think he was going to get together with Shannon to make some kind of arrangements to.
Yeah, I'm going to do a follow-up email to everybody and then ask everybody, ask them if they need additional information, if they want a telephone call, a Zoom meeting, or for us to appear in person. So I'm going to target the end of the month to get all of those emails out. What month are we in? September 8th. Yeah, the end of the September, to try to get all those emails out and to try to get some ideas to where these places are in terms of whether or not they're interested. All right,
Okay.
Blight Task Force update.
Jesse had a previous commitment, so he's not going to be able to make it today. But Todd is here if you wanted to just give a quick update.
Sure. Thanks, Ralph. Just 2 things I wanted to mention. One, there is a vacant, abandoned, and deteriorated property academy workshop coming up. We actually sent some information out to this board, the advisory board, and another Blight email list that we have put together for the Blight Task Force, just to share the information. It's a free workshop. It's sponsored by the Center for Community Progress. It's going to be held on Tuesday, September 28th. Registration is free, so anybody that's interested would like to participate I've been to some of the Center for Community Progress's webinars, their conference. They have some really good programming, really smart people they usually bring in. So if you want a little more information about tackling issues around blight, especially vacant and abandoned properties, this is a good opportunity. If anybody has any questions about that, you can let me know or let Jesse know. I'd be happy to send the information out again. And please feel free to share it, with anyone at the county and your municipality that might be interested. Second, I'm still working with Ralph. We're going to try to nail down a date for a board work session to talk through some of the work that NeighborWorks did through NeighborWorks America's Strategy and Impact program, which was focused on using data to inform community development. There's some ways we believe that the land bank could be using some of the data available to us, especially mapping tools, to inform the work that it's doing. So we will follow up with more information on that soon. Thanks.
Yeah, hopefully I would like to, see the availability of the board within before the next board meeting anyway.
Bid openings if necessary.
Okay, there was really no bids to be opened at this meeting.
Whose phone is going crazy?
Mine.
There is a volume button, I think, on there somewhere.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you go.
No, they just stopped calling.
I would have just took it
I'm
off.
gonna take the phone off. No.
Okay. Advisory committee and general property discussion.
Okay, if everyone wants to take a look at their colored sheet with the overhead views of all these properties, we can go through them here. All these properties will be on today's agenda in the form of resolution, either a side lot or for property purchase. The first one is at 1418, 1420 Pine Street. This is a property that was really one of our original ones that we've been in control of for the past 2 or 3 years. And an adjacent property owner just bought the house next door recently, and he wants to buy this one too. So this will be a side lot, and his minimum offer of $150 for that lot. Next one will be at 909 Ridge Avenue. This is another side lot property where an adjacent property owner wants to purchase it. It's just a small lot, 30 by 81. If anyone has any questions while I'm going over these, just stop me, okay? The next one at 713 Brook Street. We received two applications for this. One from the next door neighbor. If you look at the overhead view, that's where the pool is there. And he wants to buy it just to make it part of his property, and that's Mr. Santiago. We did receive another property purchase application for someone who resides about a block away. They did submit an application and an offer of $600 for that property. However, if the board wants to discuss this a little bit, and Joe, if you want to, as far as our policies and procedures are concerned, I know they say that.
Ralph.
Yes.
The people that live next door or have an adjacent property are also stating that they're going to take down a garage which seems to be in deteriorated condition.
Right.
We should consider that as part of their bid, which would put them closer to the $600 that, to take down a garage, it's going to cost them a couple $1,000.
Probably, right.
Okay.
But then at the same time, Joe, it's a priority consideration as part of our policies, procedures are given to the adjacent property owner. Anyway, too.
We, from my standpoint, the Santiagos have the better claim under our policies and procedures. And, you know, and again, like the mayor said, that these people are making a commitment to remove a dilapidated garage. So you know, they should get it. And then, and the advisory board agreed with that too. I know we're not bound by the advisory board, but it made sense all the way around.
I've also had some discussions with Tom Oleski regarding that garage too. So, you know, we'll work together, you know, with the property owner to make sure he gets that down in a reasonable amount of time too. Okay, and then I do have that on the as part of the resolutions today, but I didn't fill anything in on the resolution pending approval by the board as far as who's going to get that property. When we get there, we'll talk about that. The next property is at 2905, 2907 North Main Avenue, the corner of Marvin and North Main. The woman, Tammy Marcinkevich, she lives about a block or two away, but her daughter lives across the street, and she just wants to buy this property to maintain. It's a nice sized property, and they have been taking care of it in the past. And eventually, pending approval by the city, they'd like to put a garage with an apartment over that property, over the garage. So she submitted an offer of $500 for that property. Does anyone have any questions on that one? Okay. Now, the next 6 properties are all in the Eagle Lake development. Each one of them, each one of the applications specify that they'd like to use Natural Lake for recreation, since it is a recreational area up there. I don't know if you want me to go through these one by one, or if you want to just, when we're going through the resolutions, you know, I did notify Covington Township of the pending, and I received no comment from them, so they have no objection to us conveying these properties.
Yeah, I'll read the addresses when we're doing the resolutions.
Okay, so
Ralph, can I just ask about the Marvin Avenue, Main Avenue property?
sure.
Do we treat properties that are going to potentially be developed and not be like a, you know, typical side lot, or something that is just going to be maintained? Do we treat them differently in terms of how sell them or price them or anything?
Yeah. If it's going to be developed, and if it's more than just a side lot, you know, the minimum bid is $500. If it's a side lot and really nothing can be done with it, the price had been set at $150. But this is big enough. Plus she's not an adjacent property owner as
Right.
well. So
Right.
so that would be the $500 offer that was accepted. Okay.
And they bid 600. Did they bid 600?
No, this is
500.
500, right?
And there were no other bids, correct?
No. I think this has been on the repository list for a while too.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, are we ready to move on to resolutions?
Yes, I guess so here.
Okay. Resolution 21-028, approving the acquisition of additional property from the Tax Claim Office repository list of unsold property. This resolution addresses 909 Ridge Avenue in Scranton, 713 Brook Street in Scranton, 2905 to 2907 North Main Avenue in Scranton, Holiday Drive J3-118 Covington Township, Campery Court J3-83 Covington Township, Adventure Avenue A1-47 Covington Township, Birch Terrace WD 2-147 Covington Township, Holiday Drive J3-112 Covington Township, and Hunter's Court R2-216 Covington Township. Do I have a motion to approve resolution 21-028?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Resolution 21-029, approving the conveyance of certain land bank owned property under the side lot purchase program. So there are 3 properties. The first is 909 Ridge Avenue with the purchasers Richard and Rose Sporey for $150. The second is 1418 to 1420 Pine Street in Scranton. The purchasers Michael and Mary Brower. The price is $150. And do you see there, Ralph, you have DBA doing business as, but then nothing.
Yeah, that's what they're buying it under, PA 8501 LLC.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then the third is the one that we were just discussing, 713 Brook Street, Scranton. So we will have to put in the purchaser Miguel Santiago at a price of $150. So assuming that we put in Miguel Santiago's name at $150, do I have a motion to approve 21-029?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 21-030, approving the conveyance of certain land bank owned property under the property purchase program. These are the properties: 2905 to 2907 North Main Avenue to Tammy Marcinkovich for $500. Holiday Drive J3-118 Covington Township, Mark Holachuk for $500. Campery Court J3-83 Covington Township to Raymond Denton, $500. Adventure Avenue A1-47 Covington Township to Enzo Denton for $500. Burke Harris WD 2-147 in Covington Township to Juliana Scavio for $500. Holiday Drive J3-112 in Covington Township to Susan Barrios, probably killing some of these names, I apologize in advance, $500. And then Hunter's Court R2-216 in Covington Township, Alfonso Cesar, $500. Setting aside my debilitating pronunciation of these last names, do I have a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 21-031, ratifying and approving amendment number 5 to the land bank policies and procedures with respect to 6.5A additional requirements. And it says, whereas the governing body of the Lackawanna County Land Bank wishes to approve an amendment to section 6.5A additional requirements of the land bank bylaws adopted May 13th, 2016, amended April 14th, 2021, and be it resolved that under section 6.5A, additional requirements shall be changed to read as follows. As a condition of transfer of an improved or unimproved parcel, the transferee must enter into a purchase agreement stating that the parcel is not subject to sale, subdivision, or partition within a 5-year period following the date of transfer. The Land Bank Board of Directors may approve a transfer within this 5-year period under certain circumstances. All requests for property transfers prior to the 5-year period must be a written request to the Board of Directors of the Land Bank detailing the reason for the requested sale of the property. Purchasers of land bank owned properties who violate any requirements or restrictions stated in the purchase agreement or deed will be prohibited from participating in future land bank transactions. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Lackawanna County Land Bank does hereby approve amendment number 5 to section 6.5A additional requirements of the land bank bylaws adopted May 13th, 2016 and amended April 14th, 2021, adopted at a regular meeting of the Lackawanna County Land Bank held on today's date, September 8th, 2021. So these are the changes that we discussed at the last meeting.
Right.
I'm very happy with the wording. Does anybody have any questions?
I just want to correct something in here. If we aren't correcting, the bylaws, it's the policies and procedures. So I'll have to do this resolution over its requirements of land bank policies and procedures, not bylaws. So I
Okay,
have to change that. Okay.
okay, so just the word bylaw, the words bylaws in the first paragraph, and then in the now therefore be it resolved paragraph.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
These are-
So subject to those changes, do I have a motion to approve resolution 21-031?
Can I ask a question first?
Sure.
So could you like give me an example or two of like what a reason might be for us to waive? And I'm sorry, I have probably the least experience, but just what would be like a reason that we might waive it? The 5-year.
Maybe I could help there. I mean, I just kind of thought of something myself. Ralph and I, when we talked about, this language, let's say somebody's been very sincere on remodeling, or doing what they're supposed to do, and God forbid they get sick, something happens with their financing, circumstances beyond their control, where they're not actively violating our policies. We don't want people buying our properties and flipping them. But if somebody's making a sincere effort and they run into trouble, and maybe they're gonna, because of sickness or who knows, some unforeseen reasons happen to them that they can't finish the commitments they've made, and maybe they want to transfer it to their kids to complete the project, something like that, where we can't be. But the point is, they got to come to us, and we have to review it on a case.
Review it and document it, and
I mean, that was kind of what I thought of. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I think another issue would be if, somebody buys a side lot and, and they have it for a year or two, and all of a sudden they get a job out of town and they have to sell their house. So, they'd have to move, and so they'd have to come to the board for approval, so.
Okay.
I think it's smart it's basically covering extenuating circumstances.
Yeah.
I think it's smart to include that in the language, because in the event that such a circumstance arises, we don't want to be stuck with policies and procedures that don't have a provision handling it. I think the important thing is that it has to be in extenuating circumstances, but more importantly, it has to be brought before the board.
Yes. Okay. Sounds great. Thanks.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions? Do I have a motion to approve resolution number 21-031?
I'll make it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opportunity for the public to address the board.
I did not receive anything in that regard either.
Okay. Our next scheduled meeting is Wednesday, October 13th, 2021 at 11 a.m. I will take a motion for adjournment at this time.
Motion?
Do I have a second?
Second.
On the question? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
See you next month. Have a good day.
Bye.
I gotta run down. Thank you with that. Well, that is a good one though, isn't it?
Even though he's not here.
He does have a very nice. We're going over his apartment. We're going over his apartment.
Yeah, you said.
Two little monkeys jumping on the bed.